That took a long time. Okay, so hello and welcome. Today I am going to be going through some information that directly links to the post that I put up earlier, and a few more bits and pieces as well, hopefully to make you think, because really we need more than a plan of hope. And that is all the vaccine is at the moment. It's hope. It's not 100% by a long way, and it certainly doesn't address lots of other things, lots of other problems that we will be facing, whether or not the coronavirus vaccine is 100% successful or not. We are still going to be facing big problems. So here is a timeline. Okay, so this is me now with my hair just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, and this is time. Okay, and this is 18 months, and here, let's just say, oh, and I've got to write backwards for you. So V is for, not for VD, not for venereal disease, but vaccine day. Okay, so here at some theoretical point in the future, okay, I mean, they're saying 1 year to 18 months, but really to make a realistically safe vaccine, I mean, the top vaccine proponents on the planet, like Paul Offit, are really like saying this is too soon. It's going to take longer than that to actually get a good vaccine. But let's just say we have a good vaccine after 18 months, okay? A good vaccine, okay, this is success rate basically. This is success rate. A good vaccine basically has between about sort of a 90 to 95% success rate. So 5 to 10% of the time it doesn't work, but when you have two vaccines in a row, it gets closer to 100%. Okay, so 2 doses of a really good vaccine that's been around for 20, 30 years. It's gone through lots of different iterations to get it working as well as it possibly can and as safe as possible. That gets you, that gets you up here, and that basically means that we all go back to work. Hooray, fantastic. However, when you're talking about something like a flu vaccine, so a virus, and coronaviruses are sort of lumped in together in there because they're part of common colds and things. Okay, flu vaccines have a success rate of somewhere between, 10% to 60%. So 10%. So basically, if a coronavirus vaccine might actually be between 10 and 60% successful, it may need multiple vaccinations to get people better. Okay, and we're talking about, does it create antibodies? And here's one of the big things about antibodies is one of the reasons that people fail to produce antibodies is because of their nutritional status. Okay, so we'll get back to that. So flu vaccines between 10 and 60. Now, there have actually been previous coronaviruses, okay, and they have tried to develop vaccines to them. Now, the SARS vaccine, I think they decided not to go ahead because it just was not working. It was making animals worse, so they decided not to go to humans. But the 2 other coronaviruses, they found basically that it worked from 14% to 75%, okay? So somewhere in that line is the possible, looking at the scientific data and extrapolating forwards, okay, a coronavirus vaccine is going to be somewhere between 14% and 75% effective. And what they also found was that the side effects were tolerable, but basically in order to actually get enough antibodies, they had to go at high doses, okay? And the higher dose, the more likely there were side effects. So if you're just pinning all your hopes on a vaccine, okay, it's a bit of a fool's pipe dream at the moment. Now, I'm not saying don't develop a vaccine. I'm saying we should develop a vaccine, because if we can get a vaccine that works quicker, fantastic, brilliant, okay? But the science is against it being soon, and the science is against it being effective soon as well. So we need some other things that we can do to actually get us through this. And when you start looking at all the data out there on, the death rates, etc., etc., etc. I mean, I think I've went through it already. That basically, if you've got coronary artery, if you've got cardiovascular disease, it's like a 10% mortality rate. The general population is 0.02%, so that's a very small amount of people. Okay, and again, even if your vaccine works 50% of the time, I mean, that's going to halve the death rates. Okay, and then you have people who are healthy, and this is something that really needs to be stressed so much. Okay, is that amongst the very healthiest of the population, people who do have a healthy lifestyle, which I'm going to get to in a moment, okay, the morbidity rate is 0.00014%, so almost nothing. Okay, so while we are waiting for the vaccine, it would be a really good idea to basically work with everybody that's got cardiovascular disease, everyone that's obese, everyone that's actually under, toxic air pollution exposure, everyone that's got diabetes, everyone that's got asthma, okay, and work on strategies to improve their health. Now, asthma is going to be more difficult, but diabetes, coronary heart disease, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, obesity, all these things can be improved. So we can actually, in 18 months, okay, even in a year, even if it's 90 days, a lot of these people can significantly lower their risk of coronavirus. And one of the big, actually I'll get back to that in a moment. So basically, so we know that in 18 months, and of course the largest killers on the planet are things like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, heart disease. So in 18 months time, okay, yeah, I mean, coronavirus deaths may have actually gone down to virtually nil anyway because of the way that the virus is actually going, okay, but it's still going to be a good idea to develop the coronavirus vaccine just in case, because it can come back, okay, and people aren't going to have antibodies in 5 years time, okay, but cardiovascular disease is still going to be around, diabetes is still going to be around, all these problems are still going to be around in 18 months, and they are still going to be the biggest killers. Now, here's what's happening with health at the moment. Okay, if you carry on, okay, doing what you're doing, if this is most of the people, this is 95% of the people watching this video. Okay, if you carry on doing what you're doing, okay, your actual health, okay, is going to be less in 18 months' time. Now, how do I know this? I know this because only about 5% of the population actually have a healthy lifestyle. And we know that cardiovascular disease, diabetes, obesity, these things are all linked to and caused by poor lifestyle. There are other things as well, like toxins, pollution. Those are major contributors and they're not your fault. Okay, but doctors can't treat and don't treat those things. So most people's health in 18 months' time is going to be poorer. So most people are actually going to be closer to the higher risk. They're going to be at higher risk now than they are now if they carry on just doing what they're actually doing. Now, some people are doing a little bit of exercise, but they're not eating well. And so some people may be in about the same sort of health, but most of the population will be in worse health because they don't have a truly healthy lifestyle. Whereas what you could do is you could start actually bringing in all of the things that basically turn you into someone super healthy. Okay, and there are a lot of things that are against you, and there are a lot of things you can do. So the question is do you want to just sort of hope, okay, that your health isn't declining really, okay, and do you want to hope that the vaccine is going to save you, okay, or do you want to actually start making proactive measures so that by the time the vaccine is here, one, because your nutritional status is better, it's more likely that the vaccine is going to work. It's less likely that it's going to cause you any side effects. And also, you're more likely to survive anything that life throws at you anyway. So here's what you can do. Okay. Let's draw a blue triangle. Health. Okay. Now, when it comes to health, there are three main areas that we need to look at. We need to look at your structure and function. Okay, so basically your body in a lot of ways. Okay, and body, I've got to write backwards and it's not working. Oh, am I going to write booby? Body. Does that say body? So there's your body, there's your physical structure, your muscles, etc. Okay. And then you have mind. Okay, so you have your emotions, things like that. And then you also have your biochemistry, your food. So your mind, so that's your brain. Okay, brain. Okay, and then you also have your biochemistry. And so that, just for the sake of argument, we're going to say your bowels, basically. So you've got your body health, your brain health, and your bowel health. A lot of people know they could look after their body better. Okay, a lot of people don't realize how bad their bowels are until someone actually starts pushing and prodding around on them. And then a lot of people know that their brain needs a bit of an upgrade. And there are four major forces that attack this. Okay, so we have a triangle inside a square. Okay, and the four major forces are basically P for pollution. Pollution is a major cause of heart disease. It's probably adding massively to the coronavirus. It's a massive increase in diabetes, cancer. Then we also have stress as well. It's a huge cause. It adds to at least 90% of diseases. Then you have basically the big L, which is laziness, an inactive lifestyle. And this is absolutely huge as well, you have poor nutrition. So many people have too many calories, but they don't have enough actual nutrients to do things like make antibodies, mount a proper immune response. And so things like magnesium, vitamin D, these things, and zinc have also all showing to actually play a part at the moment in fighting viruses. So there are four areas of stress put on our body, but then we can ring fence. Well, actually, there's a fifth area, actually, and that's you. Okay, that's our own human nature at the middle here, because it's our human nature to expend as little energy as possible to survive. And what this is now showing is that if you are just betting on survival, okay, we know that that's not a good bet. We now have to actually evolve a little bit further, okay? And one of the things that helps people get out of this is fear. And I think that the governments have really missed a trick in really supporting the NHS and our health by not using that fear to motivate people to do more, to basically decrease the stress in life, look at decreasing pollution, look at exercising more, look at getting the proper nutrients into their body. Okay. They could have used fear to get people out of their skin and doing more. Okay. But it's still not too late, because there are still people that are going to be much more self-motivated now that they're starting to realize this, and they're going to start making a difference. But I think fear really to actually get people away from their normal human nature would have been a very good idea. Okay. And then to protect you against those four, what I have always called even before this, a long time before this, the four horsemen of your health apocalypse. Okay, there are the magnificent 7 heroes that basically ring fence. So you basically have, there's the health triangle, there's the 4 horsemen, but then protecting you, okay, actually that's the wrong way, isn't it? Oh dear, there we go. I'm getting all shaped up here. So basically we have the triangle of health, we have the 4 horsemen of the health apocalypse, but then we have the magnificent 7 health strategies circling and protecting you. I'm sorry you can't really see that very well. So we have the health, the magnificent 7, and we have the deadly quartet. Okay, so I have the deadly quartet all squeezing in, and we have the magnificent 7 basically pushing out and protecting us and keeping us healthy, especially if we get you motivated. Now, the Magnificent 7 health strategies are things that I teach all of my clients. If you would like to learn more about the Magnificent 7 health strategies and how they can actually help you defeat stress, defeat toxins, defeat nutritional problems and get your body in better shape, okay, this is not a cure for coronavirus, it's increasing your health to make it much less likely to be severe, so that by the time the vaccine comes, basically also it's more likely that that will work for you. So if you would like to know more about the Mag7, just comment Mag7 below and I will then send you some more details on learning the Mag7. And if you want me to actually work personally with you to help install some strategies, then we can talk about that as well. Just comment Mag7 below if you want to learn more about the Magnificent 7, so that over the next 18 months you can become healthier and you can look towards thriving rather than just surviving. Thank you very much for watching. Just be magnificently healthy. Okay, be better, healthier humans.